Hello, I'm Suzanne Black for the Blair County Conservation District. I'm a conservation education specialist, and this is my What's Hatching in Your Classroom program. I usually do this program for schools, but unfortunately, due to COVID-19, I will have to do it at home, and that way teachers can share the program with their students. So I start with a little story, and this is called Little Chick's Story. And this is about a broody hen. Now, broody hens are chickens that want to hatch eggs. Broody hen laid 5 eggs. We'll have the kids so you can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She laid 1 egg in the hen house for the farmer's son. Look at that. She laid 1 egg in the barn for the farmer's daughter, right there by the hay. She laid 1 egg in the meadow for the ring-tailed raccoon, and she hid 1 egg for the Easter rabbit. It's almost time for the Easter rabbit to come. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then she laid 1 more egg. This one is for me, she said, and she fluffed up her feathers and she sat down on her egg. That broody hen. She sat on it all day in the sun. She sat on it all night in the dark. She sat on her egg when the wind blew and when it rained. It's raining outside a little bit right now. And she clucked a little hatching out song. My chickadee, my golden downy chickadee. The sun is warm, the wind blows free. Hatch out for me, my chickadee. She's waiting for that little chick to hatch. And then one sunny, windy day, her egg hatched open, and out came Little Chick. Little Chick looked around. She looked up at Broody Hen. She said, "I'm hungry," said Little Chick. "Eat, my chickadee," said Broody Hen, and she scratched up chicken feed. Little Chick ran behind her, pecking and eating until her stomach was full. Her mom scratched up some food for her to eat on the ground. It's a good way for chickens to find insects to eat. In the evening, Little Chick crept under Broody Hen's wing. She peeked out at the dark and the stars and said, "Tell me a story, Broody Hen," and Broody Hen did. "Once upon a time," she said, "there was a golden downy little chick. She ate lots of chicken feed and ran about in the sun and the wind." Look at that cute little chick. And she grew strong and big until she was a strong, big, broody hen. Then she laid 5 eggs. She laid 1 egg in the hen house for the farmer's son. She laid 1 egg in the barn for the farmer's daughter. She laid 1 egg in the meadow for the ring-tailed raccoon, and she hid 1 egg in the violets for the Easter rabbit. How many is that? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then that little chick, grown strong and big as a broody hen, counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she laid 1 more egg. That makes how many? 5, that's right. "Just for herself?" asked Little Chick. Look, she's under Broody Hen's wing. "Yes," said Broody Hen, "just for herself." Then Little Chick snuggled up, look at her snuggled up, close to her mother, And in the dark night under the stars, little chick went to sleep. All right, I'm going to show you guys the process of incubation, but first I have this chart that shows us the life cycle of a chicken. So over here we have a grown hen, and this is her egg. They have oviducts, and then they actually start with a little tiny, the little white speck that you see in the yolk of an egg. That's how they start. They have the yolk and the albumin, which is that clear part, and then a membrane, and then the shell, and then the hen will lay that egg right here in that nest. All right, and then she will roost on the egg, and this is what we call when a chicken goes broody. And she will sit on it and keep it warm for 21 days. It takes 21 days or 3 weeks for a baby chick to hatch. Different species of birds have different times that it takes for an egg to hatch. When the chick, it's wet and weak, it breaks out of its eggshell, and then it becomes dry and fluffy, and then it'll grow up into a chicken, and that process starts all over. Now, do you think that we need roosters to hatch out baby eggs, baby chicks? We do. Does a hen need a rooster to lay an egg though? No, they actually don't need roosters to lay eggs. That's a common misconception. The eggs you get at a grocery store, those hens have never even seen a rooster. So now I'm going to go through the process of incubation. All right, so this is my incubator, and you'll get to see this in a few minutes in the video. And this is a Brinsay Mini 2. And this one, I put the water over here, and it actually is self-turning. So it turns the eggs by itself. And the reason those eggs need turned is because the mother hen will actually do that on herself, but the baby chick, as it's developing, it needs to develop some blood vessels that go around the whole inside of that egg so it can exchange gases through the pores in the eggshell and the membrane. So, day 1, put the baby chicks in the incubator. All right, and this is day 5. You can see here this little dark spot. That is the baby chick developing. And I can actually, this is called candling. It's when you shine a light on the egg to see if it's developing. And you can usually see some blood vessels in there also. And you'll get to see that in the video too. This one is day 10. And you see the baby chicks taking up more of the egg. This space up here is called an air cell. And that will help the baby chick breathe, especially when it's time to hatch. And then this is after 15 days. So this is a little over 2 weeks. And you can see that baby chick's taking up almost an entire egg. And then we get a pip. That's when you start to hear the baby chicks peep a little bit, and they put a little crack in the egg. Baby chicks will actually have something called an egg tooth. So I want you to get your egg tooth out. Make sure your hands are washed out because it would be touching your face. Get your egg tooth out, and they lift their head up and they put a little crack in that eggshell. And I'll show you what an egg tooth looks like with some baby chicks that we just hatched. And then they're going to take their little head with that egg tooth, and they're going to turn their head a little bit more, crack it again. So I want you to put your egg tooth back on. Turn your head and crack it in, and turn your head, crack it again. And this is what we call zippering the egg. And once the baby chick has zippered it almost the whole way around, they can then push with their feet and hatch out. So I have this picture here to show you the anatomy of an egg. Most of you know that this is called a yolk, and the white part of the egg is called the albumin. The chiles, this is the stringy part of an egg. If you've ever cracked an egg open, that actually holds that yolk in the middle of the egg. I had some eggs that I tried to hatch that were shipped. I put them in there a little bit later, so I'm gonna give them another couple days to see if they'll hatch or not. Sometimes shipped eggs do not because they get shaken up, and this will actually break, and it'll also break that air cell right here. And so they don't always do too well when you ship eggs. Then you have your inner membrane and outer membrane, and these are porous. So basically what porous means is there are little tiny holes through them, and the shell is also porous, and that way gas can get exchanged. So when that baby chick, when the egg gets turned, when it's growing, those blood vessels can get oxygen to the baby chick for it to grow properly. And then I have this. This is day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is when the eyes start, that dark spot where the eyes developing. And this shows how a chick starts developing. And you see down here, the last week is when they start to get their feathers. And then you have that cute little baby chick. Now I have some questions for you, and then I'll show you a baby chick and an adult chicken. So the first question, what do you call a mother chicken? What's the name of a mother chicken? It is a hen. I bet most of you got that one right, didn't you? Now everybody knows this one. What do you call a father chicken? That is a rooster. Why don't you give a big loud cock-a-doodle-doo for your parents at home? How many days does it take for a chick to hatch? I don't know if anybody caught that, but it takes 21 days for a baby chick to hatch. And what temperature do chicken eggs need to be incubated? That one I didn't talk about. That's 99.5 or 100 degrees, right? That's Fahrenheit. Celsius, it's 37.5 degrees. And do white eggs and brown eggs taste the same? And that one is pretty tricky. So raise your hand if you think white eggs or brown eggs taste the same. Raise your hand if you think white eggs and brown eggs do not taste the same. So I actually have, I'll grab it here really quick. So I have a white egg, I actually have a blue egg. These are hatched from my lavender Americanas. One of my friends has a rooster and hens, and I'm able to get some eggs off of her to hatch some babies, and I kept 2 from my hatch last year. So this is a blue egg. So do you think a blue egg tastes the same as a brown egg over here? Actually, they do. All eggs taste the same. The only difference is not in the color of the egg, it's actually what the chicken eats, so, or how fresh the egg is. So a lot of times people will get brown eggs on the side of the road somewhere, someone that's selling them, and typically those eggs might be actually a lot fresher, and they may also be free range. So my chickens for the most part are free range, and the eggs are fresh. This was just laid today, and I just brought it inside, and those eggs actually taste a lot better. But other than that, if you buy a white egg and a brown egg in the store, they're going to actually taste the same. The only difference is the color of the egg, and that color difference only comes from the different breeds of chicken. So it has nothing to do with anything really, except for the different breed of chicken. The Americanas lay this nice blue egg, and my Silkies actually lay a lot. I don't have a Silky egg with me right now. They lay a lot smaller egg, and it's a light brown color. All right, so this little guy is a lavender Americana. And that's its sibling. They lay the blue eggs. Here's Terry and my rooster. You can see streamers on the top of his head. It's a little windy today. And here's Piper. She's a bantam coaching. She has, come here, Piper, that red comb and wattle. The comb is on top of her head, and the wattle is underneath her beak. And that's what a normal chicken looks like. Bantam just means small, and cochin means she has a big fluffy bum, which you can see as she's walking away. And so does Tyrion, my Sokie. Sokies are different. They don't have your typical comb and wattle. They have a puff on top of their head. Some Sokies have a larger puff than others. It depends on their breeding. Sokie roosters have what we call a walnut comb. He came from a really good breeder. And so did Sansa and Cersei up there. And there goes Tyrion. I don't know where they're going. That's the sound he makes when he finds food. And he calls the girls over. Roosters are really sweet. Well, some. He is. And he actually calls the girls over when he finds food for them to come over and eat it. They eat before he does all the time. He's quite the gentleman. Take a lesson, boys. All right, we'll say goodbye. No fighting. Oh, that's a stick, Tyrion. That's a stick. He can't eat a stick. Oh, look at these ducks. Oh, they're so naughty. Naughty ducks. Don't you quack me. Yeah, you're naughty. Naughty ducks. All right. We'll see you later, guys. Okay, this is my setup on my kitchen counter. This is my Brinse incubator. It's the Mini 2 Advance. I really like this one. Right now it's 37.8. Typically, I have it up. Usually I have them at 37.5. But this one has a little crack, so it runs slightly cooler when I used my other temperature. Here's I actually put this in there when I set my incubator up. So the temperature inside my kitchen right now is 69.3, 55% humidity. You can kind of see, oh, he was a lot closer. Moving around in there a little bit. This is one of my Sokie eggs. This egg, I'm showing you against a white paper towel. It's a really pretty blue egg. This is from a lavender Americana. And then I'll turn the lights off here and show you the development. This little guy you can actually see moving around in there. So I'll put this one back in the incubator and it should hatch in 2 weeks. Right, this little guy is zippering, so hopefully we can get him on video hatching. Most of them hatch overnight, so we miss it. And basically he's just turning his head a little bit and cracking the eggshell. And then once it's cracked enough, and you can see it goes over the top a little bit, he'll push with his feet and pop out. This little guy is a lavender Americana chick, and they lay a light blue egg. And we have another one hatching. Oh my goodness. I went upstairs for about an hour and we had 2 hatch over here. Look at them. And 1 more hatching right here. You coming now, little guy? There you go. Your friends are encouraging you. You can do it. Come on. There. You're almost there. Come on. You can do it. Walk away for an hour and I have 4 chicks hatch. Oh, technically 3. Because the one hatched for us. There you go. There. These 2 hatched over there. There you go. Stretch out. It's such hard work. You can do it. Alright, I have these 2 little guys. They just hatched last night. Come here. These are Soaky chicks. So if you notice those little tiny spots on the tip of their beaks, if I can get really close here, you notice how they look a little sharp? That's their egg tooth. Right, and that will fall off when they are about, see how close? 3 days old. All right, so now the Soaky chicks are a little different from regular chicks. Regular chickens have, this isn't, there we go. Regular chickens have 3 toes in the front, 1 in the back. Soaky chicks, you can see a bunch of toes there. They actually have, there we go. They have 5 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 in the front, 2 in the back. All right, so this is a cute little guy. This is my brooder setup. This is a Brinsay Eco Glow brooder, and it's like a hot plate. Now you'll see that I don't have one of the sides on. Soakies are bantams, so they're smaller than a regular chick, and so it's hard for them to get close enough to the hot plate underneath here to stay warm. So I have a plate here. Oh, there we have a friend peeping out. We had 3 of them hatched today. You guys got to see one. Hey guys. Say hi. So we had 3 silky chicks. Yeah, you're super cute. Super cute. No, kitty. You cannot. That's Stella. I'm going to give a little update on the little chickies so everybody can see how cute they are. Say hi, little guys. These ones are our lavender Americanas. You can see they have 3 toes in the front, 1 in the back. And then our little silky chicks have the 5 toes. Those 2 down there in the back. There we go. I just cleaned them. Oh, someone already went to the bathroom. The only bad thing about chicken is they go poop a lot. So I just clean this out. I'm gonna add their food, water, and put their eco brooder heater back in. And they go under there like they would their mother's wings. They'll go under there and stay warm. Oh, little guy. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing the chicks hatch. Enjoy your time doing your schoolwork from home. Your teachers miss you. Say bye, chickies.